Us ADA holders, we're just trying to survive. We're trying to hang in there. The pivot from bear market to bull market, waiting patiently. It's all we can do. All the while, it doesn't really matter because Cardano, from a fundamental perspective, delivering big news coming out most recently. Hydra, live on mainnet. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Please hit that subscribe, hit the like on the way in, and let's just jump into the video. This is ADA on the weekly chart. Is zoomed out. We are going to talk about some charts in this video because it just overlaps with some of the things we're about to talk about. But here's the news. This is the news. Cardano launches first mainnet version of Hydra, scaling to 1 million transactions per second. Want to just say, Cardano's not at 1 million transactions per second right now, but scaling to 1 million transactions per second. Is ADA price poised to explode? This is what we have going on. They've released the first functional, and we're talking about the Cardano team, first functional mainnet version for Hydra, which is the most significant scaling solution for the ADA ecosystem. The goal of the Hydra team is to enable several million transactions per second, paving the way for mass adoption of Cardano. We talk about mass adoption for Cardano a lot, right? It's not just a talking point. There has to be a path for that to happen. And this is one path. This is the enabling of several million transactions per second. Now, this really ties into kind of cross-chain things and really just Cardano getting exposure to a broader crypto ecosystem. It really plays into that. And that's huge when we're talking about things like mass adoption. Now, we're talking about a scaling solution right here, level 2 or layer 2 scaling solution. And if you just recall, there are so many different facets to what makes Cardano, in my view, special, right? The staking mechanism back with Shelley, multi-asset ledger, smart contracts. There's so many different things going on. It was the Vassal hard fork back here in September of 2022, if you remember, which really kind of ushered in the scalability type of era for Cardano. And so we're starting to see that, right? So all of this happening, and this is a bull cycle and bear cycle of fundamentals, and Cardano truly delivering those fundamentals, all of that setting up to be a solid foundation for Cardano. When I use things like Launchpad or ADA's just going to explode, what I'm talking about isn't like right now. What I'm talking about is from a cycle perspective in terms of Cardano continuing to deliver fundamentals from a cycle perspective. And it's all my opinion. This is just how I see it. What's happening here is a launchpad. And really, truly, what's happened here is a launchpad for huge valuation for Cardano. This is a game of patience. Some people get a little frustrated with me because I'm so bullish on Cardano, and they think that I think it's going to explode in the short term, but we know how cycles work with crypto. So I just wanted to say that this is a long-term thing, but the foundation could not get any stronger for ADA right now. What is Hydra? Hydra is a layer 2 scaling solution. It bundles and processes ADA transactions before sending them back to layer 1. It does not involve a hard fork. So maybe some people might be wondering, was there a hard fork? Is there going to be? There's not going to be, unlike updates such as Vassal. The Cardano team is not only working on developing their network, but also on connecting the ADA ecosystem with other ecosystems. Recently, they launched a test version for CBTC, a Bitcoin token for Cardano. They have also made progress in connecting Cardano with its biggest competitor, Ethereum, which we're about to talk about in a minute, through the Milkamada C1 sidechain. The JED stablecoin team and Milkamada have successfully implemented the JED stablecoin protocol on the Milkamada network. Developers can interact with stablecoin's protocol directly using Ethereum-specific smart contract programming language Solidity. Do you see kind of all the tentacles, Cardano, broader crypto ecosystem perspective? Do you see how the game for this next upcoming cycle might be changing? We can use words like game changing. It's clickbait sounding, but it's just what's happening. And that is exciting to me. This integration allows both ecosystems to benefit from each other's liquidity and development opportunities. So speaking of Ethereum, this is ETH TPS. And by the way, what I thought was really funny about this article, this is ETH News. This is ethnews.com. We have this Cardano article. But we're talking about scaling to 1 million transactions per second. I just want to give you some context. Ethereum, this is a website that kind of tracks TPS for Ethereum. Ethereum is doing 29.33 transactions per second. So I wanted to give some context into where Ethereum is right now in this conversation of transactions per second. Now, I want to pivot and just talk about this foundation for growth that I'm saying or seeing as a value investor when we look at an ADA chart, right? And while all of this is 100% of my opinion, what I think is possible, just please note, it's so zoomed out. It's such a long-term thing. It's a long-term mindset, and it could happen. It could not happen. It could surpass what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, there's a ton of risk involved in crypto. I just want to say that. But the foundation being set with all of the fundamentals that we're talking about, one of them now, this most recent update with Hydra. Look at this. So we have all of this going on, and I'm not even mentioning, I mean, DeFi coming online. Here's Tap Tools just tracking all of the tokens. We've talked about this like probably a year or 2 years ago, all the tokens that would be coming on Cardano, reminiscent of the early days of Ethereum, tokens coming onto Ethereum, the early days. And if we look at that in terms of Ethereum, if you can just go back to like 2017 area, right? Ethereum at a $21 billion market cap. This is kind of the phase of where ADA is right now in terms of technicals. But the thing that's different to me is not only, and you see meme coins coming online, you just see all of these similarities, DeFi coming online, which we've been talking about, so similar to ETH 2017. But what makes it different, everybody, and I can't stress this enough, is Cardano and the quality of this protocol is such a stronger foundation for what was happening on Ethereum in 2017. If Ethereum had the foundation that Cardano has, would have been even better for Ethereum, but it didn't. Cardano has that foundation. That's what we've been waiting for. And they have been delivering each era, each step of the process. So what's the story here? $21 billion market cap back then. You know, you can go lower, I don't know, maybe $10 billion market cap somewhere back here. You start going to look at where ADA is right now as this is happening, $13 billion market cap, right? So we're $13 billion market cap. And notice, and I say this a lot, I talk about it a lot because I like to just bring all of this context together. And really, I do like to compare to Ethereum because I truly, genuinely think, without just knocking Ethereum, I think Cardano is doing things better and is way more ready for scalability, security, and decentralization, right? And this is a huge piece. This is the formula to just that trilemma that crypto has. Now, look what it did, 21 billion. We're just taking that number, 21 billion in 2017, 500 billion plus. So go to an ADA chart. ADA got, I think, right around 100 billion. Came back down, we're at 13 billion in kind of the similar 2017 vibe of Ethereum. So I say this time and time again, $500 billion market cap for ADA. It's just sitting there. It's so up for grabs. And I still have not sat down to say exactly when I think that would happen, but it's so in play. And it could even be in play in this next bull cycle. Absolutely. Do I 100% sit here and say that's when I think it's going to happen? I really want to dig into more data to start talking about and having that conversation of when. But I will say this. I'm so bullish on that possibility of 500 billion and one day even a trillion. I'm so bullish on that possibility because things like this are happening. Cardano launches first mainnet version of Hydra, scaling to 1 million transactions per second. Cardano is waking up in so many ways, so many things coming online, and it's just only a matter of time. And I even actually see it from a social perspective. The reputation of Cardano, it's picking up. People are starting to respect it a little bit more. It's just happening. And so what happens next for ADA and Cardano from a cycle perspective is very interesting to me as a value investor. And this is only how I see the charts. It's only how I see the project and how I see things. But this is what I think. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. I appreciate you cruising by. Another good update for Cardano. We'll continue tracking it. Hit the subscribe and like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.